What feeling-wise, what you feel is the biggest difference between a large promotion like ECW and WWE compared to an up-and-coming program like JCW?
The only difference is the amount of the crowd. Everything's still exactly the same goal, the same purpose, the same attempt is to make the talent attractions that then motivate an audience to pay to see them.
Do you take over like a coaching role to some of these young kids?
I guess. I mean, if they ask my opinion and if they ask my advice, I'm more than happy to give it to them. But I don't offer it unless they want it, and then I always offer the advice with the understanding that if they're smart enough, I don't need to tell them. If they're dumb enough, they're not going to listen. So
true. Do you miss the real old school ECW pre-merger hardcore days?
I miss ECW because it was a really enjoyable time in my career, and I miss the guys, I miss the audiences, I miss the atmosphere, just that whole era. But everything has a beginning, a middle, and an end, and unfortunately, it had to come to an end.
Physically, right now, do you feel if ECW was still around, would you still be able to keep up with that hardcore style?
I don't know. I mean, I'm 50 years old, and I've been. It's going on 32 years, and to be realistic, to perform in any style at 110% at the level that you have to, day in, day out, I don't know. I mean, I could do it, but I wouldn't be happy. I'd be hurting a lot worse than what I do right now, probably.
Who's the maybe the one person that you miss most that you haven't seen in a really long time from the WCW days?
From WCW or
ECW, just past or present that they could be alive or not alive.
Chris Candido, I loved him dearly, and Owen Hart, and when we lost those guys, I mean they were really wonderful guys that when you were on a show, didn't matter what the show was like, when they came in, everything got better. I mean, everything.
And my last question was, November 15th is the birthday of the late Macho Man Randy Savage. You had the pleasure of working in the same companies as him. How was it to work with him?
He was cool. I mean, he was a funny guy. He was very creative, very interesting. It's too bad that he's passed away, but, he went out the way I would, just suddenly. I'd rather do that than linger on. So,
sure, you guys have any questions?
I was just interested on what you feel would be the highlight of your career.
Considering the length of time, I think just the fact that the length of time is the highlight of my career. The fact that I've had a career for as long as I've had it's the highlight. Getting to go and do and be and what I love to do for as long as I've loved to do it, that's been one hell of a highlight for me. So
Definitely something to be proud of.
I am.
Do you see yourself still in the business in another 5 to 10 years, whether it's backstage, things along those lines?
I don't know. I really don't know. I enjoy it, but like I said, everything has a life to it, has a beginning, a middle, and an end. I've outlived this life probably 3 or 4 times, and hopefully I could still have something to contribute that would make me a positive influence and therefore a need for me. But if there's not a need for me, then there's no reason to be in it.
I thoroughly enjoyed your career from ECW to the house shows. There was actually a show in Staten Island back in the, early 90s. You guys wrestled at a place called Sports Fest.
Yeah.
It was inside a bubble next to a hockey rink.
Yes.
I was actually playing hockey that day with my brother, and you guys spilled onto the hockey rink. My brother handed you his stick. It was broken over somebody's back, and he will be here tonight, and he still has that hockey stick to the day. So when he sees you, he's just going to be like, oh my God, I remember that guy. Yeah. So, we'd like to thank you very much for taking the time.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you, guys.
Al Snow for damage365 here at JCW Show in Manville, New Jersey.